Do you know Shibuya in Tokyo? It is one of the busiest places in the world. Thousands of people cross the street there every day. But in front of the station, there is a statue of a dog. His name is Hachiko. Today, people use this statue as a meeting spot. They say, "Let's meet at Hachiko." But do you know the real story behind this dog? It is a story about love, sadness, and loyalty. Our story begins in 1924. A man named Hidesaburo Ueno was a professor at the University of Tokyo. He loved dogs very much. One day, he adopted a small, golden-brown Akita puppy. He named him Hachi. Hachi was weak when he was a baby, but with the professor's love and care, he grew strong. The professor and Hachi became best friends. They were inseparable. In Japanese culture, the Akita dog is a symbol of loyalty. Hachi was the perfect example of this. Every morning, Professor Ueno took the train to work. He walked to Shibuya Station. Hachiko always walked with him. Hachiko watched the professor buy his ticket and walk through the gate. Then Hachiko went home. But here is the amazing part. Every afternoon at exactly 3 p.m., Hachiko returned to the station. He sat by the exit and waited. Imagine this scene. The train arrives. Many people come out. Hachiko looks at everyone. Then he sees the professor. Hachiko stands up, wags his tail, and makes a happy sound. They walk home together to have dinner. This was their daily routine. The people working at the station and the people selling food nearby all knew them. It was a heartwarming sight in Tokyo. For Hachiko, the professor was his whole world. But happiness does not last forever. On May 21st, 1925, something terrible happened. That morning, Hachiko walked the professor to the station as usual. The professor patted Hachiko's head and said goodbye. Hachiko watched him leave. He didn't know that this was the last time. At the university, Professor Ueno was giving a lecture. Suddenly, he collapsed. He suffered a cerebral hemorrhage. Doctors tried to help him, but it was too late. Professor Ueno died that day. He never came back to Shibuya Station. At 3 p.m., Hachiko was waiting. The train arrived. Passengers came out. Another train arrived. But the professor was not there. The sun went down. It became dark. Still, Hachiko waited. He did not understand death. He only knew one thing. My master always comes back. After the professor died, Hachiko was given to other families. But Hachiko ran away again and again. He always went back to the house in Shibuya and then to the station. Finally, he started living on the streets near the station. It was not an easy life. In the beginning, some people were mean to him. Children bullied him, and shopkeepers chased him away. He was dirty, hungry, and lonely. But he never moved from his spot. He waited in the hot summer sun. He waited in the freezing winter snow. Years passed. 1 year, 5 years, 7 years. In 1932, a journalist wrote a story about Hachiko in a major newspaper. The headline was about a faithful old dog awaiting his late master. Suddenly, Hachiko became famous. People from all over Japan came to see him. They brought him food and treats. They cried when they saw him waiting. He became a hero. Hachiko waited for 9 years, 9 months, and 15 days. On March 8, 1935, Hachiko passed away on a street near Shibuya Station. He was 11 years old. It was a sad day for Japan, but also a happy one for Hachiko. Why? Because his long wait was finally over. Many people believe that Hachiko went to heaven and finally met Professor Ueno again. Today, Hachiko's body is preserved in a museum in Tokyo, but his spirit is right next to Professor Ueno's grave in Aoyama Cemetery. If you visit Shibuya today, look at the statue. It is not just a piece of metal. It is a reminder. It reminds us to cherish the people we love. It teaches us about loyalty and hope. Hachiko, the faithful dog, is still watching over the city, waiting for his friend. Thank you for listening to the story of Hachiko. See you in the next story.